Hi, and welcome to Pentor Cars, Cornish car collectors. My name's Andy, and I've been running Pentor Cars now for just over 10 years, buying, restoring and selling often modern classic cars of interest, and I look forward to sharing a bit of our car history with you in future videos. But also, what my two children and I have been doing for the past 13 years is buying a car each year, restoring it, and more often than not keeping it in our barn, where we've amassed a bit of a car collection, again of modern classics, and I look forward to sharing those with you in future videos. You join us today on quite a cold and windy day. I apologise for some wind noise that you will hear on the camera today, but it certainly is quite cold here in February in Cornwall. Now for our first video, I thought we would take a look at this, the most recent addition to the Pentor Cars collection, our Ford Focus RS Mk1. Please hit like, please leave a comment, and please subscribe to our channel. Now the Ford Focus RS Mk1, here in beautiful imperial blue with the 18-inch 5-spoke OZ racing wheels and the Brembo brakes, is a car that I've wanted to own ever since it hit the roads in late 2002. It was the first car to wear the RS badge for 5 years, following on from the RS 2000, and it was a unique car to Ford. Ford developed it with very few parts being carried across from the standard Ford Focus. Now there were 4,501 of them made, 2,147 came to the UK, and it's rumoured at £19,995 each that Ford lost money on every single one. Sold with the 2-litre turbocharged Duratec engine, the car from standard produced 212 brake horsepower, delivering a 0 to 60 time of around 6.5 seconds, just below, and a top speed again of just below 145 miles per hour. And also with a Quaife differential, which has been cause for much debate over the years, it made it at the time the best front-wheel drive handling car ever made, and still stacks up as one of the best ever made to this day. Now our car has been modified by the previous owner and is putting out around 320 brake horsepower, which certainly is enough and makes this car very exciting to drive. The reliability of the RS's engine and gearbox is well known. However, there are some checks that you should do when buying a Mk1 Ford Focus RS. They're getting on a little bit in years, and are starting to be known for rust both in the sills and the front wings, as well as the front and rear subframes, so do have a look and do your checks on those. Equally, whilst the cars handle extremely well, they can come unstuck, and therefore it's worth looking for any body damage or repairs, because panels, given the unique development of this car, can be quite expensive. Also, when sold new, they came with a bespoke RS wallet, and document wallet that is, and RS mats. Now these may seem small things, but actually if you look to buy them and replace them in the car if they are missing, you're looking at around £400 for all of those parts. Now having said all of that, we didn't do any of those checks. We bought this car from a commercial auction during COVID, so it was sight unseen and only with a brief conversation with the auctioneer. Let's see how we got on.
Next one is here, a little bit 388 WK. Oh, yes, I got it. This one, a little bit 388 WK, the Ford Focus. This one is a 2-litre WRS. The Focus RS, come on. 2003 on the 03 plate WK, but we got a couple of stamps in the book as well with this one. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's an awesome toy. You've all seen it. It's on Facebook. I've played with it. It's lovely. It's great. Come on, forget cap. I know it books at 73.25. We've all seen what the retail for. I will start it low because it just makes it more fun, but it's going to make a fortune. Start £7,000. 7,000 pound, but it's 7, 7,000 pound, but it's 7, 7,000 pound, but it's 7, 7,000 pound, 1, 7 to 1, 7 to 1, 7 to 1, 2, 72 with a bid, 72 with a bid, 3, 73, 4, 74 with a bid, 5, 75, 6, 76, 77, 77 to 77 to 78, 78, 78, 79, not one of them's getting through. 7,000 pound with a bid, 8 bid, 1, 8,001 with a bid, 2, 8, 2 with a bid, 2 with a bid, 3 with a bid, 3 with a bid, 4, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 6, 7, 8, 7 with a bid, 8, 8,009, 8, 9 with a bid, 9, 9 bid, 9,000 pound with a 9, 9,000 pound with a 9, 9,000 pound with a 1, 9, 1, 9,001 with 9, 1, 9,001 with a bid, 9,001 with a bid, I tell you what, on sale. 9,001 with a bid, and 9,001 with a bid was selling, 9,001 with a bid once, 9,001 with a bid to the bid then twice, done and gone. 11.20, 9.1, that's a good buy that.
So how have we got on with our auction purchased Ford Focus RS Mk1? Well, on the day of collection we drove it the 20 miles home, parked it up outside of a friend of mine's house where the car wouldn't start. Pushing the start button, nothing at all would happen. So we pushed the car a bit and that didn't do it. We got a jump pack and attached that to the battery, and equally nothing at all when pressing the start button. But after about 10 or 15 minutes the car started fine. So okay, we put that down to a one-off, but sadly not. It went in the garage that night and the next day again the car wouldn't start. But after a few moments it did. So we took it into the garage and it was diagnosed as a battery. The battery was replaced and it started very well for the next few days. So one Friday I had the day off, thought I'd take it up onto Dartmoor, drove it up onto Pentor, which is very close to where we are. Really good drive. Had a flask of coffee and a chocolate biscuit there, but sadly it wouldn't start. So I was stuck up at Pentor, Dartmoor, very little phone signal. It was cold as well, but managed to get the AA because the fault was happening at that time. The AA came out and did some diagnosis work on it and diagnosed a damaged or faulty exciter wire into the starter motor. So got me started. Unfortunately I was caught on social media, as you can see, and this post was found by a friend of mine. But drove the car back to the garage where they looked at it again and it was found to be a starter motor. So new Ford starter motor's gone in the car, and touch wood, ever since it's been starting exceptionally well. I've had no other problems, the car has been brilliant. Now as you'll see, the previous owner has done, as well as modifying the engine, has done some fairly bespoke modifications here in the interior. You'll see the speaker surrounds and the upgraded speakers, and also an Alcantara finished steering wheel, and also, I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but Alcantara dash surround with an air and fuel aftermarket gauge. Also the center console was Alcantara with a turbo control and an aftermarket stereo. Now we've changed that already, and this is just not to our taste, so we are slowly looking to return the interior of the car back to standard. We've got a steering wheel already, we'll show that on maybe this or a future video, and also a new surround where we'll delete this aftermarket gauge. But the car's actually having some work done on it today, and that work is around the back, so let's take a look. So as you see here, around the rear of the car, the previous owner has had it debadged. The Focus badge is gone, the RS from this side, and also the Ford badge that would sit slightly indented here on the boot lid. Now we're keen to return the look of the car to as close to standard as we can, so we've sourced this one, which is a direct replacement, and the body shop today are going to take out this piece of filler, fit this for us, and just paint along the boot lid here, and hopefully lose this preparation mark again from previous work that's happened with the car. So look forward to showing you that a little bit later. So hope you've enjoyed the little introduction to the car. We're now going to take it to the body shop to have this work around the back done, and we will get some photographs, put them on the video, and show you the car when it's finished in a moment. we are driving the Ford Focus RS. We're taking it to MK Bodywork in Plymouth, who are going to do the boot lid as I discussed earlier, enabling us to return the Ford badge to the boot, allow it to sit in the recess that is supposed to be there in the boot that was filled by the previous owner. And we've got a new Focus and a new RS badge to go on there as well. So the boot lid in the rear of the car, with the exception of the large exhaust, should be returned to how Ford intended it when it rolled out of the factory. You see we've got a nice full tank of premium unleaded fuel, which is all this car will run on. And we're just driving now down to the Saltash tunnel. We'll come out of there and across the Saltash bridge. It's going to be quite interesting actually, as I've got my Tamar tag here, but I'm not sure it's working, and I've got the camera stuck to the window, so not quite sure how I'm going to communicate yet with the chap in the toll booth. But here we go. It's always exciting to pull away from the Saltash bridge when the barrier goes up, so looking forward to that. But this car is just an absolute joy to drive and own. Yeah, the suspension is a little hard, but it adds to the way that the car drives. Makes a wonderful sound, particularly with this exhaust on it. And I've got to say, whilst we are changing this steering wheel, and I said earlier that I've got another one, the steering was really good to grip and hold, doesn't slip like the leather one might do. So I will miss it, but it is important that we take the car, as I say, back to standard. It's quite busy on the road today, so hopefully we get a bit of a clear run as we go away from the bridge. Doesn't matter too much if we don't, but the car certainly enjoys to stretch its legs, all within the confines of the speed limit, of course. Not sure if you can see it on the video, if it's not obscured by the steering wheel, but the air-fuel ratio gauge is spinning nicely. As I say, we're going to delete that as well and return that back to factory as it should be, mainly because I don't really understand what it's telling me, but it's doing its thing, and therefore, again, noteworthy for the video. Say we're just crossing over the Tamar Bridge now. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but the Brunel Bridge is there to the right. Just turning to evening now, so we've lost the light a little bit on this drive, which is a shame. Again, I'm hoping that it's coming out on the video. So as I said, this car is quite extensively modified. It's running around 320 brake horsepower, and the boost is wonderful. We might get to see a little bit of that in a moment. And whilst there isn't too much lag with it, but it is old school in the sense that it has got a bit. But once you open it up, you really dig a lovely delivery of boost right up through the revs. And the car will often, when you get over sort of 4,000 revs, it will give you a whole lot more power. And it's not unusual, if you're going at quite slow speeds, to see wheel spin in third gear and lose traction even at 50 miles an hour. So it is a very exciting car to drive. Okay. So here we go, we're coming up to the toll booth. I always pick the wrong lane, and once again I've done that. But let's see if we can get away from here and just let the car stretch its legs a little. Okay, here we go, best bit of the drive. Wonderful car to drive. God, I love it. Okay. Again, once in fifth gear, 70 miles an hour, around 2,500 revs. It is a car that you can live with every day, I suppose. But they're so precious now and so scarce that it's something to be enjoyed on nice days and show days and things like that. Let's enjoy the rest of the drive. I've been referring to it as MK Bodywork all of the time, but of course it is MK Body Shop of Plymouth. Okay, here we are. So next time you see the car, it should be all done. So our Focus is back from MK Body Shop in Plymouth, where they've done an absolutely fantastic job restoring this boot lid to its original condition, fitting the grab handle for us, setting the Ford badge back in its recess, and also, as you'll have seen from the photographs, taking the boot lid back to bare metal and really giving it this lovely glass finish. We're really happy with it. Now you'll also notice that we've changed the number plate. We've changed the number plate to a Pentor car's number plate because all of our cars have that livery on them. So please look out for them if you're out and about in Cornwall. Our next job, first of all, you'll see that we're in the garage today. It's quite windy outside, so we thought we would do this job here in the garage. And that job is to fit the Focus and fit the RS badge. And for that, we've got this nice new old stock Focus badge for this side and the RS badge here that was provided by DMB Graphics. So now for the nervous and quite challenging job of putting these back in the right places. So watch and let's see how we get on. Okay, so here's our new Focus badge. Looks fantastic. Really going to look great on the back of the car. What we've also done is masked up the right location here to stick this, and we've taken these reference points off a Ford Focus gear that we've got parked outside, which I'm sure we'll share in a future video. So let's get this badge stuck on. There it is. Onto the RS badge next. DMB Graphics produced this lovely replica metal badge for the Focus RS Mk1, which is a great upgrade for anyone who's got a dull or weathered original badge, as it's made to original spec and really will again set this boot lid off. So once again, we have measured up exactly where it needs to go. So let's stick it on. And there we have it. Our Ford Focus is an RS once more. We're really pleased with the finish from MK Body Shop and also the badge on the right hand side there from DMB Graphics. Hope you've enjoyed the video. As we said earlier, please do like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to seeing you again here at Pentor Cars, Cornish Car Collectors. Bye for now.